Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm really excited about today's video because I'm going to be filming my makeup inventory for January 2020. I'm so excited because a lot of the categories that I didn't maybe feel so good about a year ago, I have been able to downsize a lot. And right now I actually feel really good about my collection. I like to have options, but I still want to have more curated collection so that I don't feel overwhelmed. I have never had the biggest collection ever, but I still had so much makeup that I really didn't know what to use on a daily basis. And I had a lot of products I didn't even like. Then I had a lot of products that I had barely ever used, and I just didn't feel good about that. But that feeling has now gone away. Last year was my no-buy year. This year I'm trying to continue my no-buy year with a low-buy lifestyle, and so far it's going good. I do have a couple of restrictions for a couple of categories. Lipstick and lip glosses I can only buy one in every 2 months. So it means 6 lip products this year. Then eyeshadow is the only category I'm continuing my no-buy with, just because I do still have so much beautiful eyeshadows I love and I want to get more use out of before I bring in anything new. And anyways, if there is one category in my makeup collection that I feel is still bigger than I want it to be, it's eyeshadow. But overall I feel really good about my makeup collection now. I don't feel overwhelmed anymore. I'm really happy about how my makeup collection is looking. Now that we moved, I was able to fit everything into a one drawer vanity, and thanks to that goes to my no-buy year, to project panning and also to decluttering. And of course, if I declutter something, I don't want to do it to fill in the space with new makeup. In fact, I don't have the space I used to have, because previously I stored my makeup in an Alex 5 drawer, and that had more space than my current vanity. That is the theBalm vanity from IKEA, and that comes with one drawer. I'm really excited to share this inventory. Sorry, this was a long intro, but I just wanted to share it with you that I'm really pleased with where my collection is at right now. In today's video we are going to talk about how many products I have in each category, how much I had last year this time, and also I'm going to share with you what my goal is. In the end of the video I will tell you what is the total value of my makeup collection. And I will say I'm sorry, I'm looking down a lot, but I'm reading all of these numbers from my computer, so sorry about that. Let's start with primers. I do have 2 primers in my collection. Last year I had 4 primers, and my goal is really to have 1 primer. Now I have 2, but they are really different. One is a really moisturizing, hydrating spray, and then one is more smoothing, pore filling primer. But honestly, I think I only need 1 primer that is smoothing and pore filling. Okay, foundations I do have 5 currently. But I will say that from these 5, 2 are the same foundation, they are just different colors. So technically I do have 4 different foundations. Last year in January I had 6 foundations, and I had some older foundations that I panned last year. My goal is always to have 2 foundations, but I don't mind if I have multiple shades from those 2. But I always want to have a full coverage, more matte foundation that wears really well, and then I want to have something a little bit more natural. But for me it's okay if I have multiple shades, especially because in summer I don't always go through the foundation during the time I do have tan. So yeah, I do have right now just a little bit more foundations what I would like to have. But I'm panning one, and then one that is in my summer shade I'm planning on panning this summer. It will actually be 2 years old this summer, and I don't want to have older foundations than 2 years, because I have had old foundations break me out previously and I don't want that to happen again. So I will try my best to pan my oldest foundation next summer. Okay, then last year I had 1 white mixer. It was from Catrice. Currently I don't have any white mixers or anything else that is supposed to change the consistency of your foundation. And my goal is to have 0. I honestly don't think I need something like that. And then let's talk about concealer. I do have currently 3 concealers in my collection, but 2 of these are different colors from same concealer. It is the same goal for me with concealer than it is with foundation. I want to have one full coverage that I use on my under eyes, and then I want to have one little bit more natural concealer that I can highlight with. So yeah, my goal is to have 2 concealers, but I don't mind if I have multiple shades because I feel I actually need those multiple shades. Last year I had 6 concealers, but I panned some of my older concealers last year and I'm really happy where my concealer collection is right now. Last year I had 5 powders, now I do have 4 and my goal is always to have 4. So I want to have a matte setting powder, then I want to have an illuminating setting powder or finishing powder, then I want to have something to my under eye. I will say that baking is not something I do really often because it tends to make my under eye look just like a little bit too bright and also kind of like dry. I don't like that, but sometimes I do it. So I want to have that option. And then I want to have one powder to touch up during the day. So I do have those 4 powders, so my powder collection is where I want it to be. And then setting spray, I do have 4 setting sprays and my goal is to have 4 setting sprays. So I want to have always the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray because that just holds my makeup on place like nothing else. Then I want to have more hydrating setting spray. I have not yet found my holy grail, but I want to try the Urban Decay Chill one. Then I want to have just a fixing spray, something really cheap to wet my eyeshadows with. And then I want to have a setting spray or fixing spray in small bottle so that I can carry it with me to work, for example, in my small makeup bag if I feel like I need some refreshing during the day. And yeah, that is where my setting spray collection is at right now. Last year I had 6 setting sprays. I will say that complexion products, they weren't super bad last year, but now all of my categories except maybe foundations are where I really want them to be. But now that we are continuing to my cheek products, I feel they were all a little bit out of control last year and now I actually feel so much better about all of these categories. Last year I had 6 different bronzers or contouring products and then I had 2 pans of bronzer in multitasking palettes. I don't have those multitasking palettes anymore and I don't have those bronzers. I have depotted the palettes and kept only some products I really loved from those and the bronzers weren't those things. I do have currently 4 bronzers in my collection and my goal is always to have 4. And I'm really happy about this one because I do have exactly what I want to have. I want to have 1 cream contour product, although I will say that I do have a cream contour palette from e.l.f. and palette is not necessarily what I want to have. I would prefer a stick just because I only need 1 color. Then I want to have a matte contouring product. Then I want to have lighter bronzer and a little bit deeper bronzers and I prefer these to be satin finish or a little bit more shimmery but not matte. Then these next 2 categories I'm maybe the most excited about because last year these 2 were the ones that I was probably the most overwhelmed with and I'm talking about blush and highlighter. I had a lot of blushes and highlighters and I had in both of these categories a lot of colors I didn't like. For example, I had from BH Cosmetics like a colorful highlighter palette that I never wanted to use. And also I had a lot of bright blushes even though I most of the times go for something really neutral or otherwise muted or light. Last year I had 13 single blushes, then I had 3 different blush palettes and also I think I had several blushes in multitasking palettes. In total I had 27 pans of blushes in my collection. Currently I do have 14 blushes in my collection. 10 of those are single blushes and then I have 4 depotted blushes. I do have 1 magnetic palette where I do store only depotted blushes and highlighters and there's 4 blushes there. And my goal is actually to have 15 blushes, so I am under my goal and I'm really excited about this one. I actually didn't think that I would get my blush collection to my goal or under during last year because I had so much, but I was really ruthless when I decluttered my blush collection. So I'm really happy where my blush collection is at right now. The only thing I will say is that I would like to add a couple of cream blushes to my collection. I was a powder face product girl for a really long time, but now that I have been panning the cream contour palette from e.l.f., I do realize that I kinda would like to have a couple of different cream blushes too for those really quick and natural makeup days. Last year I had 7 single highlighters and then I had 5 different highlighter palettes. And when I was preparing to film this video, I was thinking if these 5 palettes were including like my multitasking palettes or for example my BH Cosmetics Carli Bybel palettes that include highlighters. But no, I realized that I actually had last year 5 separate highlighter palettes. I had 2 from BH Cosmetics, then I had 1 from a Finnish brand Hair Icon, then I had 1 from Ofra and 1 from ABH. In total, if we count all of my highlighter pans, last year I had 42 highlighters. Right now I do have 10 plus 1 highlighters in my collection, so let me explain. The one highlighter that is plus 1 is actually a liquid highlighter. I believe I included 2 of my liquid highlighters into my inventory last year. One of those I project pan in my 19 in 2019 project pan, and then one I do still have, but I'm planning on panning that this year. But I don't want to include it to my actual highlighter number just because I don't wear liquid highlighters on my face. My 10 highlighters that I wear on my face, all of them are powder highlighters, and one of them is a single compact. It is the Pure Nude highlighter from Essence. I actually have now ordered the theBalm Luminizer that I used up completely last year, but I have not gotten it yet. 6 of my highlighters are depotted, and then I do have 3 pans of highlighter in my BH Cosmetics Carli Bybel Deluxe Edition palette. I actually can show it to you just really quickly. This video is going to be really long, but I wanted to show you that I have counted these 3 highlighters, the pink, the lilac and the white. These I counted, but then this gold I have used up, and these 2 that are too deep for my skin tone I just crushed out. I'm so excited about my highlighter collection right now. My goal is to have 10 highlighters, so once I get the Mary Lou I actually do have 11, but then hopefully I'm able to use up the white from here in a couple of months. Then brow products is a category that has gone down a lot. I have under half left what I had last year. So last year I had 7 brow products in my collection, now I do have 3. I always want to have a more precise brow pencil. I use the one from NYX. Then I want to have more natural brow pencil. I use the one from Pixi. That's actually really good for days when you just want to do your brows in like 1 minute. And then I want to have brow powder, but it's not a must. In case I do have some eyeshadows I could easily wear as brow powders. Something that I actually took off from my goals was a brow gel. There is a brow gel in the Pixi Natural Brow Duo, but in the end of the day brow gel is not something that I really think I need. I don't have a lot of brow hair, so I don't think I need something that holds my brows on place. And then I feel gel only makes my brows look kind of like really hard. Last year I had 4 eye primers, now I do have 3, and my goal is to have 3. So I want to have just a normal eyeshadow primer to use every day. Then I want to have a glitter primer and a white base. And those 3 things are what I have right now. Then eyeshadows. I will say, if you are interested of hearing me talk about my eyeshadow inventory and statistics, I would recommend you to check out my eyeshadow no buy series. One thing that really motivates me to not buy eyeshadows is if I see my eyeshadow inventory the total number of eyeshadows go down, and then if I see my pan percentage grow. So if you are interested of these numbers, check out my eyeshadow no buy series. There will be an update for that later this week. But I am still going to go through my eyeshadows quickly in this video too. So last year in January I had 29 pre-made eyeshadow palettes and 1 C palette. And now I do have 14 eyeshadow palettes plus 1 C palette. I actually rotated through my entire eyeshadow collection last year, so I did the Shop My Shadow series, and everything that I just didn't like I decided to declutter. Then in the end of the year I still did one last declutter where I decided to let go of some palettes that I still wanted to keep after using them in my Shop My Shadows rotation. So some palettes I decluttered, but also I depotted a lot of palettes. That's why I do have currently way more singles than last year. Last year I had 39 singles, including my loose eyeshadows and my pressed singles from Makeup Geek. Right now I do have 54 singles, and from those 33 are eyeshadow pans. So some Makeup Geek eyeshadows, but also depotted eyeshadows. And then I have 21 loose eyeshadows. So some loose eyeshadows I actually also decluttered last year, especially those that do not have shifter, because they are so messy. The total number of different eyeshadows in my collection, so this includes eyeshadow pans and my loose eyeshadows, is 227. Last year this time it was 346. So even though the number of my palettes is half what I had last year, the total number of eyeshadows is not, because as I said, I depotted some eyeshadows. Then let's move on to eyeliners, and this is a category where I just lowered my goal really recently. I was actually really happy with my eyeliner collection. January last year I had 7 eyeliners and that was my goal. Now I do have 4 eyeliners and that is my current goal. So I want to have black liquid eyeliner, gold glitter eyeliner, and then nude and black waterline pencils. And last year I also had in my goals and in my collection a white waterline pencil. Honestly, I don't think that's so flattering. I can just wear nude. I think that is not as harsh as white. And then I also had a black and brown eye pencils that I used to do line with, but I don't want to have those pencils anymore because now I do have lash extensions on, and I think those pencils, they can be quite hard to take off, especially since I used waterproof pencils. Now that I have these lash extensions, I have found that eyeshadow is actually a better option for me to wear as an eyeliner, just because that is so much easier to take off. And also something I want to say is that liquid eyeliner is something that I try to stay away from it, but if it is a special occasion and I want to wear like a really classic winged eyeliner, then I will wear liquid eyeliner, but it can also be a little bit harder to take off, so I try to use eyeshadow as an eyeliner. Then mascara, this is always like the most boring category in my inventory because it's always the same. Last year I had 1 mascara, this year I have 1 mascara, and I only want to have 1 mascara. False lashes, this is maybe a little bit difficult category because last year I had like 3 false lashes that I was wearing currently, but I had some backups, so I have marked here that I had 9 backups. Now that I have lash extensions, I obviously do not wear false lashes. It is not recommended to wear lashes because the glue is really going to harm the extensions. And also it's not recommended to wear mascara with this. However, I will say that I do have 1 pair of magnetic false lashes. My godmother actually gave the magnetic lashes to me, and I had been curious about those, just in case if it has been a while since the last hair appointment and you really need to look like put together. You maybe have a party or something else, but you cannot get the last appointment time before that and you need nicer lashes. So I thought magnetic lashes could be a good option. I tried to apply those once before my lash care, but I will say that I really need to practice more, and anyways it's for really special occasions. Even though there's nothing like glue or something else that is really going to ruin your lashes, it's still probably not the best because, you know, taking them off can be quite challenging. So yeah, I do have this one pair of magnetic lashes, but I don't know how to use them. I don't even know if I need them, but I'm fine having those. Then lash glue, I don't have any right now, but last year I had two. Okay, then there's only lips left. Last year for some reason I had added lip care products into my makeup inventory, but I took my lip care products off just because it's more like skincare to me. Anyways, I don't have a lot of lip care products. I only have a couple of different lip balms, then a lip exfoliator and a lip makeup remover. So that's all. But let's talk about lip liners. Last year I had 15 lip liners, and right now I also have 15 different lip liners, but 2 of them are almost gone and I have unopened backups for those 2. Actually, one of my lip liners is officially an eyeliner, but as I told you, I don't wear those eye pencils anymore, but I wanted to have a dark brown lip liner, so I moved my brown eyeliner pencil with my lip liner, so it is there. I'm storing it there and I'm including it there here in my inventory. Lip liner is the only category where I don't have any goals, because for me the most important thing is that I have enough lip liners to use with all of my lipsticks, but then I don't want to have lip liners in colors that I don't need. Then let's talk about lipsticks. This is always my favorite category because I just love lipstick more than anything else. Last year I had 40 lipsticks, now I do have 24, so I do have 16 lipsticks less than last year. I think I used up 3 or 4, and then I decluttered some that were old or were just in colors that I didn't really enjoy anymore. I don't really have a number goal for lipsticks. I used to have 20, and that is maybe like in future what I want to have. But the biggest thing is that I want all of my lip products to fit into my lip product holder or organizer. My lipstick holder is the only thing that is not stored in my mom vanity from IKEA. It's actually there and I can show you a picture of it right now. Then lip gloss is a category that I'm really excited about. Last year I had 15 lip glosses and now I do have 5, and here I do have a goal. I want to have 5 lip glosses. The reason I do have a goal number here is just because I don't like lip gloss as much. Most of the times I would prefer a lipstick over a lip gloss. The only thing when I like lip gloss more is if it is like a sheer and shimmery formula. But for example, today I am wearing a lip gloss I'm panning. This one is from theBalm. It is the Read My Lips lip gloss in the set Snap, and it is like this creamy beige color. But this kind of color that is not like shimmery, I would prefer in a lipstick form. So that's why I do have the number goal for lip glosses, but also lip glosses, lip liners, lipsticks, all of that I want to be able to fit into my lipstick holder. Okay, so those were all of the categories. Then let's quickly talk about the total value of my makeup collection. Last year the value of my makeup collection was 2,796 euros, and right now the value of my makeup collection is 1,683 euros. It was quite a shock to me last year when I filled my inventory to really see how much money I had spent on makeup, and I knew that that's not all. There had been plenty of things I had decluttered previously, so that was the first kind of like wake-up call for me what comes to spending on makeup. I'm really happy where I am right now. I think in future, and I'm talking about way in future, like in 10 years or so, I would like my makeup collection to be under 1,000 euros, but it is a long way there because I only have makeup that I really love in my collection left. Right now my biggest goal is just to not let my makeup collection go over 2,000 anymore. because I personally have no reason why my makeup collection should be over 2,000 euros, because we all know makeup expires and I will never be able to use up, you know, so much makeup. And yes, I have decluttered a lot of makeup, but what I will say is that the products I buy in future, I want to be sure that I love those products. I'm not going to be purchasing products the same way that I used to buy them a couple of years ago. So if I buy something, I'm only buying what I really want to get and I think is like lacking from my collection and that I would really want to eventually use up. So yeah, I'm way more comfortable my collection being at 1,600 than I was last year when it was at 27, almost 2,800 euros. Then really quickly I'm mentioning two categories. These I didn't include to my makeup inventory, but I just wanted to update you where I am with these. So nail polish. Last year I had 33 nail polishes and now I do have 25. I have actually not written down a goal for nail polishes. I do have a holder or a container for those too, but in the end of the day I don't think I want to have so many nail polishes that they fill the entire container. So I think I want to have like under 20 nail polishes. I'm still going to continue Project Polish and I'm trying to downsize my nail polish collection a little bit. And I honestly don't need new nail polishes. Then perfume is the last category I'm quickly mentioning. Last year I had 6 and now I do have 7. And my goal is actually to have 10 perfumes. So perfume is actually the only category that I really want to grow. And the reason to that is that it can be quite hard to find cruelty-free and vegan perfumes. So that's why I do have a smaller perfume collection, but I feel I am lacking some, you know, scents, especially for everyday wear. And I'm actually interested in trying the brand Eden Perfumes that makes cruelty-free and vegan dupes for popular perfumes. So yeah, this is a category I want to grow, but I don't want it to get out of control. So I think 10 could be quite a good number. But yeah, that was everything for today. I know this was a super long video, so if you're still watching, thank you so much for watching this video. I think that was all. Thank you and see you in my next one. Bye bye.